Hey everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video. We have recently had yet another nerf patch. We saw another batch of Demon Hunter cards nerfed as well as some others. And well, I think it's been long enough to determine that, yeah, Demon Hunter is still broken. It's still breaking Hearthstone. It's still determining everything, really, honestly. It's the best class in the game. If you look at HS Replay, look across Standard and Wild, you'll see that it's still at the top. Especially in Standard, it's well above, I think Rogue and Hunter are listed there, and every other class is still negative. There's even an infographic posted by HS Replay that shows that Shaman, Warrior, Paladin, Warlock, and Druid, 5 classes, if you combine their popularity, combined, they are see less play than Demon Hunter alone. And Demon Hunter alone still has over a 54% win percentage, and all the other mentioned classes are sub 50, of which are basically accurately sub 50 outside of Warrior, which we'll talk about in a bit. So what exactly is going on here? What is causing this? Well, there's a fundamental problem with Demon Hunter, and it keeps it from being this powerhouse that just won't stop happening. And it's effectively knocked out 7 classes from the game. We right now, if you look at my matchup spread from, I've been playing like the last 4 or 5 days, I've documented my games. If you look, I've been playing from like ranks, I've gone down as far as the low as rank 1000, all the way up to like top 100. 80% of my games have been either against Demon Hunter, Rogue, or Warrior. That's it. In that period of time, I believe I faced 1 Paladin, 4 priests, 0 shamans. And the most popular class out of like 200 games I played outside of the big 3 is Mage at 6. 6 out of 200 games is the fourth most popular class. This disparity is what I want to call, and I'll probably be calling it for going forward, is the Demon Hunter effect. What is the Demon Hunter effect? Simply, Demon Hunter is so highly tuned, is so good at what it does. Only specific counter strategies can possibly hope to defeat it. And there's only 2 of them. There's only 2 strategies out there that work. You either build a deck that can consistently clear the board and gain health at the same time, or gain armor at the same time, that you can try and out-heal them while removing every threat. This is what Warrior does the best with Risky Skipper and Armorsmith, and they tempo and build some boards with like eggs or brutes, things like that. And it's what Priest attempts to do with its Holy Nova, its Breath of the Dragon Breath, all that stuff, and does it to a lesser degree of success. So that's one strategy. And the other strategy is you just scam them. You cheat absurd amounts of mana. You play gigantic Edwins. You just do crazy broken mana cheat things to try and beat them. This doesn't mean you beat them. So what classes can do that? Well, Rogue mainly with, as said, Edwin and Togwoggle and Galakrond and those type of things, backstab, those type of mana cheat techniques. And then Mage, which like cheats out Pocket, not Pocket Galaxy, but Yogg's Box and Power of Creation and Deep Freeze with Dragoncaster, Tolerant Pilgrimage, things like that. And outside of that, you can't beat Demon Hunter. You legitimately can't. If you want to put honest minions in your deck, try and play a mid-range strategy, try and play control strategy that doesn't involve healing and gaining armor, or just play like an aggro deck, you're going to lose. You're going to get out aggroed, you're going to get out-tempoed, you're always going to lose. Doesn't matter. You can try your best. You can make Murloc Paladin, you can make Evolved Shaman, you can make Libram Paladin, you can make any sort, like, Control Warrior, any of these decks, they're going to lose. Because they don't have the tools that Demon Hunter has. So why does Demon Hunter cause this? What is the causation of this problem? Well, quite simply, Demon Hunter does everything better than every class. Period. Every minion in the deck is upside on top of upside. They get a 1 mana 2/1. It draws a card. You have a 2 mana 3/2. It tutors your next draw, which no other class has access to that mechanic. You get the cheapest, most versatile lifesteal in the game with Eyebeam. You get the best draw engine, period. You have 2 mana, draw 2 cards, better than Intellect. You have Skull of Gul'dan, draw 3, cheat 9 mana. This is better than Nourish, when the quest in Druid is active. Think about that. You gotta pass 4 turns and do some terrible stuff with Druid just to get Nourish active with the quest. It's still worse. You gain 2 mana, draw 3. This gains you 9 mana, draws 3. It's better, and you can run 2 of them. You have the best control card in the game in Glaives of Azzinoth. It can clear almost everything while also pushing face damage. You have the best reach in the game with Metamorphosis or your Kael'thas combo. Metamorphosis, look at this card. It's 5 mana or 7 mana total Pyroblast. Pyroblast was once 8 mana and was nerfed to 10 because it was too powerful. You now have a 7 mana Pyroblast that not only is better than Pyro, it can be more versatile. It can target multiple things. It can do better things than just go face. You have Altruist, which is like Flame Waker, but on steroids. It can clear the board, develop more minions, and kill your opponent while going face in a much more efficient manner because it also has a better better backstab, a better pounce to utilize. As 0 mana spells typically are broken, and you can also versatile use it to the left, to the right. There's just so many things about the class that are just insane. And then you look at another issue. It just breaks the rules of Hearthstone. We've been taught that taunt should keep you alive. The Team 5's done this by, Hall of Faming cards such as Spellbreaker and nerfing Owl to kind of enforce this, eliminate silence. So, what does Demon Hunter get? They get Kayn, ignores taunt. They get 1 mana silence, it ignores taunt. We've been taught that Ragnaros was too powerful and unfair and unfun in the game. It was Hall of Famed. So they print Priestess of Fury. It's a better Ragnaros. You can run 2 of them. It can attack, and you can cheat it out consistently for 5 mana. Demon Hunter also just breaks the rules of class identity. It's pure and simple. It breaks the rule. If you look at class identity for every class, there's a strength, a weakness, a limitation. You look at Demon Hunter, it has strengths. It has maybe a limitation in card generation, but it does have card generation. People just don't run it. And it has no weakness. It effectively has no weakness. It can do everything. So every class kind of follows the rules that it's going to have a strength, a weakness, a limitation. Demon Hunter just doesn't do this. It just does everything better than everything. And one of the biggest problems you don't really hear people talk about that might actually be the biggest problem is its hero power. It's 1 mana. Do you remember again Greymane? He was a legendary. If you put even cost cards in your deck, he made your hero power 1 mana. He was Hall of Famed a year early because giving your deck such a consistent hero power makes your deck inherently more powerful than a non-even or odd deck. And this class has that built in without the deck building limitation of running even cards. It makes it so you rarely ever have a bad turn. You float a mana, you squeeze in a hero power. And not only do you squeeze in that hero power, but it synergizes with so many overtuned cards like Gladebound Adept, Battle Fiend, Satyr Overseer. And, it's just crazy. It gives the class by default on turn 1. Demon Hunter gets an advantage over every other class in the game. That cannot be understated. This is just an inherent strength, a complete, total oversight, in my opinion, of strength that really just demonstrates that you can't have a bad turn in Demon Hunter when your curve is so good, so low, and you have the best early game, and you have this hero power that makes it so you lose that 1 mana. It doesn't matter. You push the damage, you do things that another class would just pass. So automatically, against 9 classes, Demon Hunter gets a huge advantage. So how do you fix this? How do you fix the Demon Hunter problem? There's only really 2 solutions. First is you just do a class overhaul. We've seen 7 nerfs doesn't really do anything. It's made Demon Hunter go from like the god tier unbeatable class to being the nearly unbeatable class that a couple of strategies have a somewhat fighting chance, but not really chance to defeat it. You nerf 1 or 2 more cards, it's not going to address the issue. You need to overhaul the class. You need to make it so not every minion is upside on top of upside. Not every removal spell is extremely efficient. Not every card draw option is insanely busted and better than what every other class has. You need to make its hero power 2 mana plus 2 attack so it's within the same playing level of every other class and doesn't get an inherent turn 1 advantage every single game. The other option is a lot more scary, and that is to buff the crap out of every other class to bring it up to Demon Hunter's power level. You make every minion in every class overtuned, overstated, because, well, if everything's overtuned and overstated, it's no longer overtuned and overstated. It's just the norm. You make every class have 1 mana hero power. You make every class have no class weakness or limitation. Every class draws freely. Every class heals well. Every class removes and swarms the board perfectly. Then you'll have a balanced meta, I suppose, but everything will be broken. It'll be rather homogenic. Everything will be the same, and it won't be much fun if everything is the same and broken. I guess if everything is broken, then everything is broken and fine, but I just feel like we're at a point where Demon Hunter is just gonna dictate everything. It's gonna shut out everything that doesn't beat Demon Hunter for the foreseeable future. Blizzard took a risk adding a new class, and unfortunately, I don't see the risk paying off right now. Short term, there was excitement. It got a lot of people excited to get back in the game, but overall, I feel like it's adding frustration. It's damaging the reputation of the game. Reddit posts have been plentiful in frustrations with the class, mocking its power level, talking about how it's ruining their experience. I've had multiple friends either switch games or just stop wanting to play entirely, and because they don't want to be forced to either play Demon Hunter or one of the 2 strategies that can beat it. It's just not really fun to be forced to do very limited things in a game, which typically lets players explore their freedom as deck builders and players and let them do crazy and different things like play aggro, play mid-range, play control, play combo, play resurrect, play greed, play all these things. You can barely do any of these things. You can play scam, you can play Demon Hunter, and you can play healing / armor gain. That's it. And for a lot of people, that's just not enjoyable. It's alienating a vast majority of the gaming population, including myself. But as someone who streams the game, who's passionate about the game, wants to fight for the game, I'm going to keep playing whether I'm enjoying the meta or not. I'm going to keep creating content whether I enjoy the meta or not, because I love creating content. I love Twitch. I love YouTube. I love Hearthstone when it's great, and I'm going to do everything I can in the little power I have to at least put out my opinions on how the game can be improved, even if it's completely received on deaf ears that don't care. I also don't care. I'm going to keep putting my thoughts out there and keep trying to fight the good fight. So if you agree with my take, you agree with what I'm saying, let me know in the comments. If you disagree, also let me know. I'm always open for debate. I hope you liked the video. And yeah, hopefully something gets done, because I just don't see anything changing in the near future. So have a great day. Stay salty, my friends, and let's hope Demon Hunter gets to be within a reasonable level at some point.